The ways of sustaining awareness are varied. The mind is so easily drawn to distraction, pulled in different directions. Things catch our attention. Or finding different means to sustain that quality of open awareness and to help restrain the attention from being caught by various different sounds and feelings, shapes and forms, ideas, attractions, aversions. Different things are going to work for different people to support that quality of open awareness, that undistracted, open, alert knowing. One of the qualities of perception that can be used, that many people find accessible, effective, is what is known as listening to the inner sound, or nada in Sanskrit. You bring attention to the faculty of hearing behind my voice, between the words. If you listen closely, most people are able to discern a continuous, high-pitched inner sound, rather like the purring of the speakers or the air purifier or ionizer, the hum of the air conditioning. There's an inner hum, a great hush. So this inner sound, the nada, has been discerned by many people over many generations, thousands of years, and can be used as a support for meditation. You can use it to absorb into, to make it a single object of concentration. But also, one can use it as a backdrop. Listening to the inner sound as a screen against which all other sounds and feelings, perceptions are displayed. So bringing attention to that faculty of hearing. We listen. There, even as I'm speaking, I can hear it in the background. I've been using this as a meditation object for many, many years. So it's very obvious, very clear to me. If we develop this inner listening, this attending to the inner sound, then it helps to keep all of the rest of the field of experience in a context. Developing the inner listening makes it easier to recognize this is just seeing, this is just feeling, this is just thinking, just an emotion, just a flow of the planning mind, the remembering mind, the imagining mind. We taste a flavor on the tongue, the sound is there in the background. We smell a fragrance, the sound is there in the background. We see a bird flying in the sky, the morning fog, the blue sky behind it, appearing as the day opens up. The sound is there in the background all the time. Well, not everybody is able to perceive this. Some people hear it very loudly, oppressively. But, if we are able to discern that inner vibration, it can be developed as a support this ongoing open awareness, unentangled participating, knowing the world, but not limited by the world, not burdened by the world. The inner world of our thoughts and memories, our ideas, our imagination, our emotions, the external world of hills and sky, people, trees, the world of things in the realm of external features. Sometimes if you've developed another sense very strongly, if you have a lot of body awareness, you might feel it more as a tingle in your skin, your fingers, more distinctly than as a sound in your ears. Or if you're a visual artist, a painter, you might see it more as an oscillation of the visual field rather than as a sound. It can vary according to the development of the different 6 senses. But if we're able to discern this inner vibration, this universal vibration, it can be a powerful companion, a great support for this open awareness, the third exit point from the cycle of birth and death, the cycles of addiction. Sustaining the quality of vicca, the knowing element, the vicca dhatu. So that the mind is sustained in an aware, open state, and ignorance, avijja, is not allowed to arise. Many years ago, Luang Por Sumedho started to teach this method since he'd discovered it for himself, and then later on found out there was a whole tradition of thousands of years of practice. But his encouragement, which I would echo, is not to try and figure out exactly what it is, whether it's the buzzing of the neurons in your ear, the flow of chi, of prana, through the channels of your energy system, whether it's the music of the spheres or the song of the universe. No need to theorize or speculate. It's something that is present, can be known. It's like the breath. Don't have to go into the symbolism and biology or the mythology, but simply know. Here it is, this simple, ongoing presence. If we're able to discern, to listen to this inner sound, the nada, it also has qualities, properties that evoke the presence, the reality of Dhamma itself. Apparent here and now, timeless. You never hear it beginning or ending, ever present. Encouraging investigation, leading inward. Yes, helps the attention to remain inwardly focused, recognizing in this moment what we call the world is this mind's representation of the world, this mind's version of the world. To be realized by each wise person for themselves. I can't hear your sound, you can't hear my sound. To be known by each person for themselves. So it's a sense object, it's a conditioned formation in the sensory world, but it has these properties which evoke the qualities of Dhamma itself. Apparent here and now, timeless, encouraging investigation, leading inward, to be realized by each one for ourselves. And if in hearing these words you think, I can't hear anything, what's he talking about? I can hear the air conditioner, the ionizer, but I can't hear any inner sound. I'm missing out. Well, that's the case, that there's no apparent sound discernible, then, well, we just work with what is discernible, what is available. The feelings of the body, the rhythm of the breathing. Or if at the other end of the scale it's really loud, oh, this is really oppressive. I've been trying to get rid of this for years. One time here at Spirit Rock, many years ago, I was leading a day-long on this very theme, the sound of silence. About 3 o'clock in the afternoon, this guy came up to me and said, I don't know whether to be grateful or angry. I've spent $20,000 going to doctors trying to get rid of this. And in the space of a day, you pointed out how I can make it work for me. So I'm both really annoyed I spent all the money, but really relieved this is something so useful. Don't have to get rid of it at all. Maybe that person is here in the room today. So I hope you've got your money's worth by now. So whether if it is discernible, whether it's a bit loud and oppressive, or it's too faint and can't be detected at all, that's the way it is. But if we can discern that, notice that inner vibration, this universal vibration, see if it can be put to work. See if it can serve that purpose for encouraging, supporting this attribute of the heart, this open, awake, aware quality. Knowing the world as it arises, as it takes shape, as it dissolves, moment by moment. Some things which distract the mind are very obvious. The sound of a bird or somebody coughing, a vivid memory. sharp pain in the leg. It's easy to notice, clearly outlined, highlighted. But many other kinds of distraction and entanglement are subtle, abstruse, hard to see, hard to know. Particularly the habits of I-making and mine-making. My mind, my meditation, my body, my practice. I'm doing well, I'm not doing well. I should, I shouldn't. The habitual, automatic personalizing of experience is a powerful force in the minds of most beings. We use insight meditation and the reflections on anicca, dukkha, and particularly anatta to question that, to explore that, to notice, to highlight even those subtle kinds of attachment. Bhavatanha, vibhavatanha, the desire to become, for defined being. Vibhavatanha, the desire to not be, to not feel, to switch off. We can use the practice, the power of investigation, wise reflection, to explore, to highlight those very subtle kinds of attachment. In the list of what are called the 10 fetters, the samyojana, the 10 obstacles to enlightenment, the last 3 are very, very subtle. 8th on the list is asmimana, the conceit of identity. So even if there's a distinct, clear letting go, non-identification with the body, with the personality, our personal story, our age, our name, our gender, our occupation, our family, our nationality, all that might be seen through clearly, but there can still be a sense of I, the owner, I, the experiencer, I, the decision maker. Even without attachment to those obvious characteristics of body, personality, a feeling of I amness, ahankara, mineness, mamankara, can still be in the picture, still be affecting the appreciation of the present reality. So in the field of awareness, when the heart is quite still, open, it's just the nada there in the background, into that open space of the heart, we can invite a question, such as, who am I? Or what am I? What is this? When the question like, who am I, is dropped into the space of the mind, of the open heart, there isn't a search for a conceptual answer. If a question like, who am I, is dropped into that space, the inner open space of the heart, the point of asking that question is to reveal that who is the wrong question, to awaken that intuition, that inner wisdom that recognizes, oh, this isn't really a who. oh, this isn't a person. This awareness is not a person. It's not an I, not a me. Oh, look at that. And that's a direct knowing, immediate realization of the heart, not an idea, not a speculation, but a reliable intuition, a knowing of the heart itself. So we're asking a question like, who am I? The point is not to come up with a conceptual answer, but the space, the gap that appears after the question, before the thinking mind comes up with some kind of an answer. In that moment, that hesitation, that gap, there's wakefulness, openness, simplicity, no sense of self. In the Chinese tradition, this is called the huatou, the head and the tail. The head is the question, the tail is the space after it. And in this instance, the tail is more important than the head. We can use different questions to challenge the habits of identification. It's recognized that who is the wrong question, the heart knowing that, then what is this? What am I? And it might be that the word I seems very weird, very out of place. It's not an I, it's a this. There may be even asking the question, what is this? Creating this as some sort of a fixed entity, a thing in a world of other things. It's not an it. This isn't a this. There's reality, there's presence, but even to use words like it feeds the idea of a solid thing. This feeds the idea of a thing which I am. And in this kind of exploration, investigating, looking closely, feeling, all those solidifications fall apart. They're seen as false, empty, unnecessary. The mind stops creating thingness, I-ness, me-ness, mine-ness. We can use our own languaging, our own imagination to explore the areas of attachment, identification, entanglement. This eighth of the fetters, asmimana, the conceit of identity, is challenged by these kind of questions until that sense of I, me and mine is seen through completely. It's known as a convenient fiction. It's an easy way of speaking, communicating. The ninth of the 10 fetters of the Samyojana is uddhacca, which means restlessness. This doesn't mean the restlessness of having an aching leg or a need to get up and take a walk. It's a very subtle kind of restlessness. It's the creation of time and location. even after the sense of self might have been completely seen through, let go of, still the mind can be believing in time, past, present, future, and location. This place in terms of three-dimensional space, geography. But if it's contemplated, explored, it can be recognized that three-dimensional space only refers to Rupa Khanda, the world of material form. Time also. In the world of Nama, the mental world, space doesn't apply. And neither does time, really. These are subtle kinds of attachment, entanglement, but they are created forms that the mind believes in, time and location. So restlessness is that feeling that somewhere over there, some other place, some other time, there's a greater reality, something different, something special, something dangerous, something promising, over there, some other place, some other time. Well, these subtle attachments can also be explored. You can use the same kind of inquiry, questioning. Where is here? Asking a question like that. Does the word where really apply? In all of these questions, we're not looking for a conceptual answer, but that quality that's there, that gap, that space after the question is posed. That's the point. To puncture the habits of mental proliferation, conceptualization. So these are subtle kinds of attachment, entanglement, but they can all be explored. Time, location, also language, just using words. We try to conceive reality and package it in sounds that are spoken, noises vibrating the air, concepts forming in the mind, language, concept, even number. All of these are human fabrications. They don't have any absolute substantial reality. So they can all be explored, examined, let go of. The 10th of the 10 fetters is avijja, ignorance itself, not seeing clearly. So even if identity, time, location, concept, language, number, all of these have been let go of, still there can be a subtle subject-object duality. This mind knowing the world, this knowing of that. A letting go of ignorance, the dissolution of ignorance, is letting go of that subject-object duality. So there's just the Dhamma aware of its own nature. This is what's here, essentially. The citta, the heart, is Dhamma, not a person. And when all the obscurations, distortions have fallen away, what is there here but Dhamma aware of its own nature? Here it is. Never been anything else. No subject, no object, no other. No this, no that. Dhamma, aware of its own nature, its own quality. Perfectly simple, not needing to get anything, not needing to get rid of anything. Complete, peaceful, limitless.